The Square Ball Podcast.
Okay, so looking ahead to tomorrow's game, we are at the Hawthornes, West Brom away. This was a tough game last year. With the result from the League Cup, does this become even more pivotal now?
Yes, it does, and that's when I talk to the people in the Norman Hunter suite and the various suites before the game against Middlesbrough. I said exactly that. In that, I know we're not so bothered about the actual result, but it's the performance is important. Something to take from this game into the next one, because we know West Brom is difficult. We struggle there. We haven't had great results there in recent times, and last season, was another one of those. And with the start that we've made and with what's happened, we need to get a performance. So it's early in the game is going to be important, because I just don't want to see an individual mistake or a goal against, and then how we then respond. So we need to get some confidence quickly by getting to the game, keeping it tight, getting a bit of control, and then building ourselves, back up to where we should be.
Yeah, because the stats from last year about us scoring first and being able to see those games out are remarkable. And I think if we can get back to that kind of level of performance, especially defensively, I mean, we've shipped 3 goals in each of the 2 games. Defence is where I'm looking here, where big improvements need to be seen this weekend.
You're absolutely right, and it's funny. We've been talking about all of the attacking talent that's kind of left, but at the back, it's only Archie really, but everything else is still in place. So you can't tell me that that's going to make a difference from keeping a load of clean sheets to suddenly shipping 3 goals each time. It doesn't. So we need to get back to that. But it's not only down to them, of course. It's everything in front of them as well. But certainly everyone can improve.
Assuming we don't have Jorginho available for this, what would you do at 10? Because I have a feeling he'll probably go with Pirro. Personally, I hate him there. I don't think it ever works. For all the occasional nice touches he can have on the edge of the box, I feel like he's not involved in the game enough. But I also don't know what I would do.
Well, your options suddenly getting limited, aren't they? And you're right, because I think Pirro, for me, Pirro has got some real strengths, but they're more so to do with finishing calmly, arriving in the box at the right time, whether it's behind a 9 or whatever, or a secondary run. I think that's where he's very good. Trying to get him too involved in the play further back, no, and clearly running in those channels up and down, that's not him either. So it's a difficult one, but Jorginho again, whether he's here or not, that's the sort of play that you want. You want someone to get it, turn, spin, but have the strength and speed, as well. So trying to get the best out of the type of players we got, clearly means we do need recruits that come in and work to those advantages rather than the deficits.
If you hadn't have said strength, I was going to suggest Brendan Aronson could play there, but
I'll stop it.
I'm sure he's worked on himself.
He's put on 6 pounds, I think, of muscle.
I went on holiday a week ago. I put on 6 pounds. It wasn't of muscle.
Listen, I'm next to you. It ain't muscle. Okay.
That is true. That is true. I thought he actually emerged with some credit from last night, did Aronson. I thought he did okay in what was generally quite a bad performance. And actually, I think his skill set is more suited to playing centrally, actually. So maybe he is again, it's a very tough sell, isn't it, of saying Georgie's gone, the replacement is the guy who didn't want to be here last year, but best of luck.
Well, yeah, good luck with that. But if you, of course, go back to the Premier League season and when he came in, and I think was it Chelsea was one of probably the best games he's played, and you're thinking, wow, who is this young lad? He looks great. He spins, turns, got confidence, and then clearly the confidence took a hell of a hit. So I was delighted to see him score. Not so delighted to see him miss. He went from 0 to hero to 0 to just going up and down. And I know that what he needs is a run and confidence, because he has got ability. We can see that. But as you say, can he then go and fill that mantle straight away? I don't know. I saw in pre-season some really good work when he was playing on the left-hand side. He jinks and dives, comes inside, and Firpo was getting in. So that understanding was quite good. But we were in control of matches. We were dominating passing and what have you. It's defensively you need to be nice and tight as well, and that of course against Middlesbrough we weren't so. But yeah, there was some good signs from Brendan. He still he knows he still has some a lot of work to do, but that could be an option.
Yeah, so that's probably one forced change from the team that started the Portsmouth game. Do we make any other changes from that from that opening day?
I don't see him
I
doing
don't,
anything.
well, I don't see how anyone else has really forced their way in.
Yeah.
And I think what we have seen with the manager, Daniel, is that he's pretty loyal to those players. He knows what they can do, and he'll give them another chance. I think as well, and listen, I've been in performances like that, and not just once. I played in lots of games where it just did not happen. Really poor, bad. We got spanked, and worse than that. I remember, what was I playing for Stoke? I think I was against Liverpool, and we lost 7-0 at home. And I fair to say we were lucky to get nil because we were shocking. What you then got is another game to put it right, and you really want to play in the next game to show what you're about and to put it right and to respond and show that grit and determination. So that's what I'd like to see, which is why I think Daniel will think, yeah, okay, you guys have got another chance. Go out there and do it.
So is that the mindset then? Because as fans, we sit here and there's anxiety around things spiraling out of control. But from a player's point of view, is it, right, give me that next game. It can't come quick enough.
Oh, for sure. That's why I used to love the midweek games when people say we play too many games. Well, I'd rather play than train. And then especially if you have a bad result, it's only 2-3 days away, so you're already preparing. But you do have to look at what's just happened, pick the bones out of it, but then quickly get on to the next one. And that's what I used to like, in that I can quickly then show, what we're about. And I'm sure the boys feel like that. Ethan actually came up to the Norman Hunter suite where I speak on a match day before and afterwards and said, much the same thing. He was, I think, very brave to come up and speak, but he was honest in that, quite simply, what they did was not good enough. They understand that, and they're really working everything very hard to put that right.
If we were to lose this, do you think Farke's, ridiculous as it sounds, already under pressure 3 games in?
No, I don't see that. I still think that the window has lots of twists and turns to play out. When we finish that, and then he'll have certainly some time to integrate those players. When that's happened, then you can start having a look and judging things. But I think there's still lots of twists and turns as yet, and also clearly not of the manager's making. I'm sure it wasn't him that put all those clauses in, and we don't know what else is in the wash. Let's be honest. So we are looking at past sins still to be worked through, and other people are having to take it on the chin and work with it. And I think Daniel Farke is one of those.
When Angus and Parag find out who put those clauses in, they're going to be so cross.
How did these get in here?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So prediction time. I'm going to get you to put your neck on the line here, Tony. What do you think is going to happen this weekend? Do you think we do respond? What do you think will happen?
I'm always positive. I always look at what I think we could do. I'm just concerned that at the moment, that like an early mistake or something will derail us, because what I've seen in these games is we've made a few individual errors as well, and that's what you need to cut out. There was a time, wasn't it, that kind of happened a lot, and then we were really solid. Like really, everyone was concentrated. If we made a mistake, it was in the right areas of the pitch, or we might have got away with it. Now I'm seeing just mistakes, and we are getting punished for them. So I don't want that to continue. So I'd like to think that we can see the first 15, 20, 25 out, and then start to grow back up again. I'm sure everyone's looking at it from a kind of a different angle. I'd like to think the players aren't thinking like that, and they're thinking, what, come on, let's get out there and don't worry about it. But I'm just looking at it now, and what I'm seeing, they need to build themselves into the game, be nice and solid. It's still positive, but be solid and no mistakes, and try and keep those clean sheets, because that's a great base to then build your game from.
And the first outing for the new lucky yellow kit, more than likely. So if we can get a nice routine win under the belt, and
have you already called it a lucky kit? And do you just say routine win? What is wrong with you?
I'm just trying to feed off the positivity from Tony instead of looking over to doom and gloom.
I think it's got 1-0 defeat written all over it, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
89th minute.
Yeah, they were quite solid last year, and they were quite pragmatic in the way they broke the game up, and in the same way as I guess Portsmouth did. They felt like they did, from what I recall last year, they did quite a lot of smothering in midfield and little pulls and kicks here and there. Never quite enough to get a yellow card, but enough to break it up, and
taking physical side as well, aren't they?
And taking quite a long time over your goal kicks, your throw-ins, just generally slowing the pace of it down. How we combat that, particularly without our person who creates the chances. I'm not sure. I don't have a good feeling about this. A week ago, having said I thought we'd win the league, I think we might struggle to win this.
Okay. I've got it, though. I've just solved it, right?
Here we go.
We get Firpo to play number 10.
Well, he does anyway sometimes.
And we get Tony to play left back.
That could work.
You up for that?
I'm up for it, but I think we're going to need a lot more than that.
Okay.
I'm afraid. I think, not sure I'm the answer.
As a fullback, were you ever asked to switch sides midway
Yes.
through a game?
No, I was asked I actually played right back, and I did that well. They switched me back at half time. They said, get back on the left.
Because I noticed Firpo had switched again temporarily yesterday. There was a little bit in the first half when him and Byram switched sides.
Well, I think at times in the play, depending on how you're defending and who you're marking, you might go with your man from a set piece. And then because the play is so quick, you just stay where you are, which is fine. And then you can, swap back. I have seen Firpo on the right wing a couple of times, which I think is quite interesting. Again, I'm sure just the way that we're playing now, as you know, the two centre-halves, will like to split, and Ampadu then will drop back in, which is then allowing our fullbacks to get nice and high up the pitch. And they're suddenly our width. But we've gone from kind of 4 wingers getting the ball and taking them on to suddenly, these wing-backs having to do this sort of thing. So, I think we still have players to come in to try and solve a better attacking solution, shall we say. But we've seen fullbacks go into midfield. Leicester, of course, Maresca did it a load. Obviously from Man City do it. There's a lot of teams that kind of do it, is understanding, doing it at the right time and the right balance. And so when you're going forward, keeping possession, not putting the ball at risk, and we do.
I think those fullbacks, though, are doing it on instruction. I think Firpo's freestyling it. Is the impression I get from him.
He's freestyling it like the Aussie breakdancer. I mean, she was spectacular, wasn't she?
How many points did she get?
Well, she didn't get any points. However,
Right.
I thought for at least application she would have got a point or two, but no, she didn't. But maybe next time.
Just purely for vibes, she should have got some points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Leeds United pick up some points this weekend as we go away to West Brom. Thank you, Tony, for being here for the West Stand. We will catch up with you at some point across the next few weeks, I'm sure. Look out for the match ball happening tomorrow after a resounding Leeds United win in the Midlands. But for now, thank you for stopping by.
The Square Ball Podcast.